All right, we are back live here on the ESR. Puckett and Benson breaking down the championship bracket. Now on Twitter, I was just told by a lot of people that they think Annex is coming in with the higher seed. Rise Nation would be number 2. This could totally ruin my show, so I'm going to assume that Rise Nation still has the number 1 seed like the bracket I saw this morning. But if that's true, we'll see how this goes, because in most cases, we're generally going to take the higher seed in round 1. I was getting a little frisky with Rise, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's start it off with the top of our bracket. We're going to see either the number 1 seed, Optic Nation, is going to be facing off against Stunner without a doubt. Let's take a look at our bracket here for round 1, Will, when we get a chance. You can see Optic Nation at the top, Stunner there. Then we're going to have Most Wanted and Strictly Business also in the top half of the bracket with FaZe, Rise Nation, Envy, and Justice. The bottom, we got Team Caliber, Mutiny Excellence, Curse Vanquish, Optic Gaming Annex, and Denial Vexed. So the real concern here is if, in fact, Annex has a higher seed than Rise Nation, then that would be Rise playing Optic Gaming and Annex playing FaZe, which could totally cause some bracket busters. But we'll see once we get there. Let's start it off, though, with Optic Nation. Ben, break this team down for me. What have they accomplished recently, and do you see them struggling at all with an open bracket team in round 1?
So, for me, Optic Nation was a team which kind of sort of appeared out of nowhere, if you will, as strange as that is to say. Now, if you think about it, last season, they weren't around. They weren't really playing. Obviously, they were playing as a team, but they weren't, scrimming against some of the best teams. They were very much keeping under the radar because obviously they weren't in COD League. Now, things kind of changed up very, very quickly come MLG X Games, where they placed, obviously, top 8. It wasn't their best event. They definitely expected to do a lot better, but it was the first time that we actually kind of saw them on the big stage. And as casters, we were kind of sat there, and I remember I was speaking to Fwiz. I was like, Fwiz, when was the last time these guys played? And we both kind of sat there, we were like, I can't remember the last time we saw this team actually play together. So
right.
It's going to be interesting to see how they come into this. Obviously, the play-in tournament at Anaheim, they did place first, and that was a fantastic event for those guys. But that wasn't against any real competition, as horrible as it is to say. G3, a nice top 4 placement for them there. But this is where a lot of the hard work is going to have to come to pay off, because they're currently, I believe it's 2nd in the COD League. So they've had some good online results. Their confidence is definitely there. They're back to the sort of championship mindset. I know that they have, because Killer is one of the best people to speak to, 100%. If you just ever have a conversation with Killer, you can just change your mindset about the game. I know, come to the end of the game's life cycle, he's thinking a lot about Advanced Warfare, but he's still finding different spots on Ghost. He's still finding nade spots. He's still doing everything he possibly can. He's what I call a grinder. He just plays the game over and over and over again. But the key player for me on this team, Puckett, is going to be Ricky. Now, Ricky is kind of like a ball, if you will. Once you get that ball rolling, it kind of starts to snowball. When Ricky snowballs, he becomes an absolute demon. Honestly, one of the best players on the game, in my honest opinion. But it's how that team comes together in chemistry, which for me is going to be the big thing. Everyone knows, obviously, Killer and Miracles, they love to have that back and forth brotherly kind of relationship. Add Embos and Ricky into that. I think Embos gets it, but I'm not too sure if Ricky is very as in tune with that relationship as they could be, because I know in-game shot calling, every time I've ever heard them sort of scrim or watch them in a tournament, they'll have those moments where, for example, if you take EG or Optic Gaming or even Envious, if someone calls a shot, the team do it. Whereas with Nation, there's that second of hesitation. And that second of hesitation, or just not listening to your team, can be the difference between a championship winning team and a team that gets knocked out in round 1.
I have to say, Optic Nation has stepped up the respawn game mode, especially their domination side. Octane, without a doubt, their best map. They're 7-1 combined in Season 3 on this map. Their best S&D map, Octane as well, with a 2-0 record on that. Now, overall, where I see them struggling is Blitz. So I'm a little bit worried for their Blitz game. Their DOMs have gotten better. Their search and destroys, they'll drop a few, but they go clutch when they need to. So Optic Nation this weekend, in my mind, if they can just keep their S&D wins, keep that consistent, and if they can start off strong with a Game 1 victory, they're going to be set to take almost any of their matches. So, without a doubt, I have them over Stunner. But we got to remember, Optic Nation also lost to Fuse in their last UGC Niagara event before making that huge run through the losers bracket. Is Optic Nation in danger here, or did they learn their lesson, Ben?
I think they've learned their lesson, but what you said, you really just hit the sort of nail on the head. They can't lose the S&Ds. It's what they've been known for. You know, when that team was formed, everyone was like, all right, that's the best S&D team on the game at a professional level. No one's going to be able to touch them. But it's kind of slacked off. You've noticed as they tried to improve in other areas, such as their respawn, like domination, the S&D has taken a bit of a fall. Not much. They're still a very talented team, but it isn't as good as I think it used to be. So they need to make sure that they do pick up every single S&D, because it's a game changer. It really is, and they're going to need to be able to rely on that game type, because, as you said, their blitz is very, very weak. I believe their best blitz map is actually Freight, and they're only 3-2 on that. So that's pretty much 50-50, if you will. And the worst is Warhawk, and they're 2-3. That's their current record. So blitz is so random for them that they're going to need to at least win a domination and hold both S&Ds. And honestly, Puckett, they shouldn't have any problems round 1. But their back may go against the wall. It could go all the way down to a last map.
It's going to be fun to watch. I don't expect them to lose any games in this first series, but I could be totally wrong and see them upset. So let's move on. No offense to TJ and the boys. They could definitely pull this upset off. I want to make that clear. But I just think Optic Nation, they're carrying themselves with a bit more swagger these days. They want to prove they're the best Optic team, and they know to do that, they need to crush to the top half of the bracket. Our second match, though, is between two squads that are 8 and 9, basically the closest matchup we're going to have in all of round 1. And this is basically like a Money 8's lobby if you look 6 months ago. These guys love playing together. Let's take a look at our matchup between Most Wanted and Strictly Business. Starting with Most Wanted, this is a team that was picked up under the name Radius, formerly FaZe Red Spot. They keep it for Season 3 after being purchased, and then we saw, Merc and Wild coming together, and we have Huddle, Slack, Spacely, and Classic now on Most Wanted. What do you think of these guys? They've been making some noise recently online. Can they do it on LAN? They don't have any huge LAN results to speak of other than the UGC Niagara event, where Vexed, at the time that was Huddle, Slack, Spacely, and Pluto, finished top 3.
Yeah, these guys haven't really been around much on Call of Duty Ghosts, but go back a year and these were some of the top tier names. They were kind of household names, if you will. Everyone kind of knew who they were. Obviously, Classic came into the scene almost a year ago, and he just sort of blew up on the scene. He kind of came into his first event with a bang. Everyone kind of leaned back and was like, all right, who is this guy? Where has he been? And why is he so damn talented? You put this squad together, and again, they're kind of going in with a nothing-to-lose mentality, I think. They're not a team with a lot of pressure on their shoulders because they haven't been playing for that long, and they haven't really played on Ghost. I think this may be more of a team which has been in the back of the mind formed potentially for Advanced Warfare, seeing how the game is, etc. I think they thought, oh, hey, this team could really work. But more than anything else, I'm just so happy to see the likes of Spacely, Huddle, and Slacked playing once again.
My key player for this squad is going to be Slacked. If he keeps playing the way he has online, we're in for a treat. Let's take a look at some of his numbers. 1.16 overall KD. He's near the top for Season 3. Blitz and Dom Caps. You can see above 3 in both of those categories. He gets the objective done. But most importantly, he has a positive KD when it comes to Search and Destroy with a 1.13 and averages over 25 kills a respawn game. Those are some of the best stats you're going to find amongst any of the players in Season 3. And Slacked, I feel, is one of those guys who just doesn't get the attention because he's not on a huge brand like Optic Gaming or Envy yet. Look out for this guy. If he can keep doing what he does online, they will be set up to perform against Strictly Business. But as we take a look at Strictly Business now, Ben, talk to me about this squad. Who are you most excited to watch? I know I can't wait to see Fizzerp after seeing what he could do at X Games.
Oh, it's all eyes on Fizzerp for me because, as I mentioned earlier on when we were just quickly scrolling through all the teams, Fizzerp is a player which kind of hasn't been on a solid team for what feels like a very, very long time, and now he is. And this is where you're going to get to see the true Fizzerp come out because let's go back, throwback to MLG X Games. Day 1, when we saw Fizzerp play, we sat there and were like, all right, his S&D is going to be great. His respawn is really going to let down. And I think there was so much pressure on his shoulders that he really didn't play that well in respawn. And I remember after day 1, a lot of people were like, oh, Fizz really struggled in respawn. His S&D was good, he was always dropping significant numbers. I don't think there was a single game at X Games where he didn't drop double digits with a minimum of a 2 KD. But it was his respawn. And then day 2 came along, and all of a sudden, it was like a completely different player. I think he dropped I think it was nearly a 40 bomb on a Dom Strike Zone map back at X Games, and he really, really came out strong.
Really?
So they need day 2 MLG X Games Fizzip, not day 1. If Fizzip is struggling in Respawn, this team is not going to do well at all. He will carry them through Search and Destroy, no doubt in my mind. He could pretty much just say, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do. I want you 3 to go over there. I'm going to go over here. We'll win the round. He's that much of a talented S&D player. I think now everyone in the community has come to accept him as potentially, you know, one of the top 3 S&D players in the game. I don't think anyone can really dispute that. But as I mentioned, Puckett, it's his Respawn, and if that isn't there this weekend, this team isn't going anywhere.
I'm pretty sure these are his numbers from X Games, where he had over a 2.27 KD in that Search and Destroy. I remember watching him in almost every single game, especially on the map Warhawk. He would drop double digits. So look out for Fizzerp. Also keep your eye on Methods from this team, as he is back with the SB squad. How will they face off in their first round? Most Wanted, Strictly Business, probably the closest match in round 1. I'm expecting this to go to game 5. And there we're going to see a true battle of S&D skill. If it's a map like Freight, I think Strictly Business is in trouble, because Most Wanted looked phenomenal in the matches I just saw from this week. Moving on from our first match, our second match here, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, though, Ben, I think we need to give the overall, who took this Most Wanted. Was it Strictly Business, Most Wanted in round 2? Who will be playing Optic Gaming and Optic Nation later on in the bracket? We also have NVTK FaZe to talk about, and I just got word that Annex is officially higher than Rise Nation on the UMG bracket, so that has been switched. We'll have to make a few changes. We'll be right back after this commercial, guys. More matches to discuss live here on the ESR.